Dan Perkins, Jasper County cover crop guy, and I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of my spring planted to be crimped or flail mode terminated plot. I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough. Here is Phacelia, what you're looking at. It's flowering. It's June 8th, and if you've never seen Phacelia, there's the bees coming out on it. So we are going to crimp that today. Then we have Australian winter peas, which are flowering, but no pod set. Generally with legumes, you want to crimp them when they're at early pod set, is my rule of thumb. So I got a couple different varieties of peas in here. This is a spring barley, which barley sheds its pollen off the tips of its the grain head, so it's a little hard to tell that it's reached that, but it's reached that, so we'll crimp that. That's really short. That's not even up to your knees. And then we have some, looking at my chart here, spring lentils, which if you've never seen those, it is a legume, and it's a cool season legume. And as you can see, these little flowers right here, that's the flower. So all the stuff that we're looking at here was planted March, first week in March. So I'm going to try crimping some of that today, see if I can get away with just the first flower. And here is cereal rye. So this was planted the first week of March, and you can see some of the heading. So spring seeded cereal rye does undergo some vernalization, and I know this because I have cereal rye that was seeded at the end of March. We'll just zip right over there since we're there, and that has no heads coming up. It has one, and that was probably because that was oats, spring oats. So just kind of interesting, the question of, do we hit vernalization? When does it actually happen? Well, seeded early March, vernalized by the end of March, at least in 2018 spring, it didn't. Okay, so now we're going to come back through here, and this is just a mix of various stuff. You can see the buckwheat flowering. If you've never seen flaxseed, that's what that purple is. So the flax came in really thin. This is a safflower, which is a warm season broadleaf, or a cool season broadleaf, something that I thought would be interesting to try. You can see that it's just starting to open up a flower bud, kind of like a zinnia would. And then in here you can see plenty of lamb's quarter, of course. Some weeds. That's some more lentil, safflower. And then interesting here, we have Cahava vetch, which will not survive the winters here. But this really shocked me. Compared to the hairy vetches, it's at full pod set. I actually missed the flowering. I must have not have noticed, or they were really small. And so that's a quick run through. I have more of the same planted just every 4 weeks. So they're just later stages, and they're not clearly at flowering. So I just wanted to kind of catch that as we went across. Dan Perkins, cover crop guy, tour of the spring plots. And I'm going to end with this note. This is actually, let me look at my notes. I got so many things out here, I want to make sure I get them straight, right? This is a spring triticale, which is about 50% flower, and it's nice and tall compared to the barley. So I really like this as a mix, combine it with a legume, maybe some of those lentils as a spring crimping option. I'll keep you updated as we go along and get a post crimping action.